Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well and welcome back. So I started slowly putting together a list of my top favorite makeup products to come out this year, but I thought it'd be fun to revisit my best makeup of 2020 video and see if I still enjoy all of those products, if I still see them as favorites. I did film this one last year revisiting my 2019 favorites, and it was just so fun to go down memory lane again. So that's what I'll be doing today. So before we get into it, I'd love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It means so much to me, and let's get to it. Okay, so starting off with primers, I didn't really have any favorite primers, but I have some things that I like to use underneath of makeup. And I have some updated thoughts about both of these things. So the first one here is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I use the shade 2.5, but I recently found out that this stuff breaks me out a ton, and this is probably why I encountered so much acne during 2020. I wish I could go back and yoink this stuff away from me. I would have probably had a lot better skin then. I still am kind of recovering. I have a lot of scarring and such, but ever since I cut this stuff out of my routine, my skin has been getting so much better. I was also over exfoliating in 2020, so that is another big contributor, but I think this plus over exfoliating was just a disaster. I recently incorporated this into a couple of looks and I just got a flare up, so sadly, I'm going to be getting rid of this. It's such a beautiful product, but it broke me out a ton. And the other product I had was the Glossier Future Dew. And I haven't reached for this stuff in probably 6+ more months. I don't know. Just because this is great to have if my skin is feeling very, very dry, but my skin tends to be on the normal oily side, so I don't really need to reach for this. In the past, I really loved this in the wintertime when my skin was feeling parched, but I don't think I would count it as a favorite anymore because I only use it realistically like 2 out of the 12 months. I think I'm gonna actually just forego both of these products entirely today just because my skin is nicely moisturized. I know it's just going to be way too heavy for my skin right now. So bypassing those two things, we're off to a great start. So now for my foundation, I only had one favorite, and it was the Milani Screen Queen Natural Finish Foundation. I actually haven't used this in a very, very long time. I love this stuff still. I still reach for it like once in a while, but I think the reason why I haven't been reaching for it is it's been pretty much phased out of most drugstores, which is really too bad because it is one of the best drugstore foundations I've ever tried. So I'm excited to use it today. I'm going to be using the shade 240 Warm Vanilla. I can tell I haven't used this in a moment. There's some dry parts from within the little tube inside. I'm gonna take 2 pumps and I'm going to apply that with my Moda complexion brush. Yes, this foundation is so beautiful. It's just a solid foundation, easy to apply. It blends out very quickly and it just looks good. That's it. And it wears really well as well. So now for concealer, I actually have 3 options. The first favorite was the Pat McGrath concealer. I haven't used this in so long. It's probably the one I'm going to be using today. My other favorite concealers were the Rare Beauty concealer and the Kosas Revealer concealer. This is still probably my #1 favorite concealer out of all of them I have, and I still use this on a weekly basis, so I won't be using this. I want to revisit something I haven't used in a while, so I'm going to go for the Pat McGrath one, and I'm going to use the shade L7. Now this is super full coverage, so I'm gonna take 2 dots like that to begin with, and I'm going to blend that out with my beauty blender. I forgot how nice this consistency is. It's very gel-like and hydrating feeling, but it has so much coverage. It's kind of shocking. I'm trying to go for like a medium amount of coverage, but I might get a little bit more than that. And I also think this shade might be a little yellow for me right now. Maybe it wasn't the right one. I have a couple other colors. Maybe LM8 was better. I think I should have double checked the shade before going in, but otherwise really like that stuff still. I don't know why I haven't been reaching for it, but it's still really nice. Now moving on to powder. I don't have any all over powder sadly, but I did have one very significant powder, and of course it is the Pat McGrath under eye powder. This is still very well loved. You all are very familiar with this powder, and it's no stranger. As you can tell, I've hit pan quite a lot there. I'm surprised this is still holding up. It's shocking. So I'm just gonna take a little fluffy brush. This is a Smith 230, and I'm gonna set my under eyes with this. Sometimes I like to treat myself and I'll set other areas with my face with this, and it's lovely. I wish this was available in a bigger pan. It's really too nice to just be an under eye powder. It's so blurring and perfecting. Ugh, it's just a miracle worker, to be honest. Still very much a favorite. 2020 was a year of bronzer favorites. I have 4 here. So I have the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer. The specific shade is Butter Biscuit. This is kind of the color I've been reaching for lately. And I also have the Nabla Skin Bronzing Sun-Kissed Effect Bronzing Powder in the shade Ambra. This is another one that I really enjoy. It's like a luminous, creamy looking powder, but it's very long wearing since it is a powder. And then I also have the Wet n Wild. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so well loved. Like, the packaging's all janked up. It's the bronzer, Color Icon bronzer, and I believe the shade Sunset Striptease. This is a beautiful luminous bronzer as well. It's a bit more sheer and buildable, but I love this one still as well. And the last one I had was the Quo Beauty Bronzing Powder in the shade Cool Contour. I think this is the one I want to use today. I haven't used it in a very long time. Can't remember the last time I reached for it, so I want to revisit it. I feel like I've used these all within the last couple months, like kind of recent. I just want to see what it applies like with my new favorite bronzer brush, which is the Moda Blending Fan. I know this one is pretty pigmented, so I'm gonna be a little cautious here. I should have started on my forehead to get a feel for it. So now for highlighters, I have quite a few options again. So the first one was the Kosas Tropic Equinox Color and Light Cream. I don't have the intense version, just Tropic Equinox. This is still a product that I reach for very often, probably on a weekly basis. I love both sides of this duo. The blush is perfect, the highlight is perfect as well. It gives a very glossy look and it reflects the light so beautifully. It's just very hydrating, but it doesn't feel tacky and it doesn't feel like it's going to slip and slide around everywhere. It's just a fantastic formula. This is still a full-blown favorite in my books. Another highlighter I have is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow Highlighter. This is for sure another one of my favorites. Oops, I almost dropped it. That would have been tragic, but I love this one. It's such a high quality, beautiful powder highlight, and it gives a very intense look, but it doesn't look unflattering in any way like a lot of other very intense highlighters can. I don't know, it's just a fantastic formula. It's kind of jelly in a way, like it's very hydrated. It feels kind of bouncy. I don't know, it's very interesting, but still a favorite once again. And another highlight I had was this one from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. This one right here was part of her holiday collection last year. I still really enjoy this one. It's such a velvety, rich feeling highlight, and it goes on so beautifully. It's very sheer, and it adds a really dreamy like glow to your cheekbones. It's like soft focused. It's very interesting. I still consider this one of my favorites. I don't have that many powder highlights in my collection, but this is one of my faves. And the last highlighting formula that I had in my favorites was the Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizers. I still really enjoy these ones, but I feel like they've kind of been replaced by the Melt Cosmetics Sex Foils. Those ones are much quicker and easier to apply some days, and they have an even finer pearl than these ones do. The Melt ones just sink right in and they just look lived in immediately. Like they just look a part of your skin so quickly. I don't know. So I think I should revisit these ones today just to see how they compare to the melt ones, since I've been reaching for those ones more often than these. I'm gonna try these ones out today. I'm gonna mix two shades, Flaunt and Outshine, and I'm just gonna apply it with my beauty blender. You know what? That is still very beautiful. What am I talking about? Okay, I'm some kind of crazy because there's definitely room for both of those liquid highlights. That one is very, very beautiful. Even more beautiful than I remembered, so that's nice. Okay, so now for blush. We have a lot here. It just wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't have like 50 blush options, right? Okay, so the first one here is the Quo Beauty Featherweight Cream Blush. Still one of my all-time favorites. It was recently featured in my fall favorite blushes. I love this stuff still. Very creamy, easy to apply. I also had the newer colors in the M Cosmetics Serum blushes. I still really adore these ones. I don't really use Little Lilac as much anymore. It gives like a cute pink look to your cheeks. It's like a Barbie pink, like kind of cool toned in a way. I reach for that very sparingly, like maybe once or twice out of the year, but these other shades here I use far more often. My favorite though is Venetian Rose. It's so stunning. It gives kind of a bronzy, dusty rose vibe. It's so cute. These are still favorites, that's for sure. I also had the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in the shade Mellow Wine. Still today, one of my all-time favorite blush colors. It's so pretty. I also had the Tower 28 blushes. These are the newer colors. The other two that were a part of my 2020 favorites have actually gone bad. They kind of separated and got kind of weird and oily, but I have the newer colors, which I do enjoy even more so than the original colors they came out with. So I have Power Hour, Rush Hour, and After Hours. They're very, very beautiful, kind of bronzy, sunshiny kind of colors. I don't know, they're beautiful, and I still would consider them favorites. I also included the Rare Beauty liquid blushes. I wouldn't say that these are a favorite anymore. I don't reach for them too often. I reach for the melting blushes from Rare Beauty far more than these. The melting blushes I would consider probably part of my top 5 ever blushes. They just go on so beautifully. I reach for them all the time in my everyday life, especially the shade Nearly Neutral. I just quickly grabbed it here, but yeah, I have a good dent in there. It's so beautiful. Such a great everyday soft pink kind of bronze tone. I don't know, love it. These melting blushes definitely replaced my love for these ones. I still think that these are pretty good, but I like this formula 10 times more. I have a couple more blushes to talk about. I'm losing my breath over here, but my next favorites were the Patrick Ta for Face Double Take Cream and Powder blushes. I have 2 shades in just the duos. I have She's So LA, which is my #1 favorite out of the 2, and the other one is Do We Know Her, which is a cute kind of corally pink. But I just have to show you because I received this today. I purchased this week. It's the blush palette. It's the holiday collection from Patrick Ta. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I might have to cheat and kind of use this today. No, I can't do that, but I want to. It's so pretty. I can't wait to bathe in these colors. But yes, anyways, you see me use these often still favorites. And my last blush here was the Heaven's Glow Faded Clementine blush from M Cosmetics. Still a mega favorite in my book. So yeah, my love for all the blushes still remain. I still use these very, very often. I don't know which one I want to use. They're all so good. I landed on using this one here, the Faded Clementine blush from M Cosmetics. And I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics #3 brush. So my next favorite was the Fenty Beauty Eye Primer. And this again is one of my video staples. I'm pretty sure I mention it in probably 90% of my videos. It's my favorite eye primer. It's so reliable. Still my #1 favorite eye primer. It's amazing for my oily eyelids. It just doesn't allow any of my natural oils to seep through and ruin my eyeshadow look. It's just fantastic. And the last base product I had was this little freck to make little faux freckles. I don't think I'm gonna use them today, but I still use this very, very often. It's the best product and most efficient product to create really nice natural looking faux freckles. Love that still. But now moving on to eye products. I first have these little eye pots. I have this cream eyeshadow from Tom Ford. It's the Motion Proof Eye Color in the shade 10 Abyssinian. I recently used this in a video. It was products I kind of forgot about. I still really, really like this stuff, but I don't think I would consider it a favorite anymore. I adore this color. It's so beautiful, but I have found a similar color in a formula that lasts longer on my eyes, and it's the Danessa Myricks Color Fixes. I have the shades Nude 8 and Nude 9 that kind of give me a similar vibe. Here, I'm just gonna quickly swatch them. They're gonna appear a little bit more creamy just because they're wet, but you can see that they give kind of a similar color, more Nude 8 than 9, but you can see same but different, you know? And the color fixes are like bulletproof. They don't budge all day, and even at the end of the day I really have to work with my cleansing balm to really remove it. It's fantastic if you have really oily eyelids. And the other eye pots I had were from Melt. These are the Ultra Matte Gel Liners. I just like all the shades, to be honest. I just picked these 3 out of my drawer. I didn't want to pick out like my 10 that I have in my collection, but these are phenomenal. The one I recommend the most though is Onyx, which is the black. I have a fresh one here. It's so satisfying, look at that. But anyways, this is fantastic. They're so matte, they don't budge at all. They're very, very creamy and so easy to work with. They just glide across your eye and it doesn't create any bumps or any skipping at all. It's just phenomenal, and they're also great for cream shadows. They're just ultra creamy and they blend out within seconds. Fantastic. I don't know if I'm going to be using them today. I have quite a few eye products I included in my favorites last year, but I'll consider it. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Palette wise, I have quite a few. So the first one I had was the Confident Energy palette from Rare Beauty. This was part of their holiday collection last year. I don't think I would consider it a favorite anymore. I think this is a fun kind of addition to my collection. It's fun to reach for when I want a fun shimmer, but I don't really use it on the daily, to be honest. I don't think I would consider this a favorite anymore. That doesn't go to say that it is a fantastic formula, and I do really enjoy my experience with it every time I reach for it. I just don't use it enough to be a favorite. Another eyeshadow palette I had was the Melt Cosmetics Rust palette. This one still remains a favorite. It's my #1 favorite from the brand. It's just fantastic. I hold a lot of sentimental value to this one. I don't know, and the colors are so beautiful. I like to reach for this one when I want dramatic fall, kind of grungy leaning, warm looks, just everything that I love. It's just beautiful. Love it. Another little eyeshadow palette is the Desert Haze Luxury Palette of mattes from Charlotte Tilbury. I haven't used this in ages, it feels like. I might revisit this one today. I think this little color story is so cute and handy to have if you are a makeup bag person and you just need small items. I used to reach for this little palette all the time, but I haven't in a while. And I'm not too sure why, because these are still some of my all-time favorite tones to reach for. These are all warm shadows. This next palette is the Wet n Wild Color Icon, my Glamour Squad palette. This is the palette that replaced my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. I prefer this formula. It's not as powdery and it doesn't kick back as much and doesn't fall out anywhere. And I think that this formula layers on top of itself way better than the Anastasia shadows. So it just replaced it. It's the same color story. And yeah, it's still one of my all-time favorite drugstore eyeshadow palettes. I feel like those are hard to come by with my picky preferences. And the last eyeshadow palette I had was the Side by Side nude palette from Nabla, and I still reach for this one all the time. It just offers everything. Cool tones, warm tones, kind of reddy, rusty tones. It just has it all. I really like this one and the quality is phenomenal. I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I feel like it's a lot of similar tones, but I don't know, I feel overwhelmed still. Guys, I have something that's happening on my under eyes, and I think the Pat McGrath concealer is disobeying me. It's betraying me rather. It's starting to crease and my under eyes are not looking hot at all. I'm gonna try to save it with a little bit more of that Pat McGrath under eye powder, but it seems to be making the situation worse. So I might have to redact everything I said about the Pat McGrath concealer just a few moments earlier. It might have gone off, to be honest. I've had those concealers in my collection for quite a while now. And I am aware that I haven't done my brows yet. I'll do them in a bit. I don't have any favorite brow products here. Anyways, talking about the eyes specifically, I'm gonna start with the shade Rubbish from the Melt palette. And I'm gonna put that in my crease. Now I'm going to jump into my Side by Side palette from Nabla. I'm gonna take this shade right here, Beauty Mark, and I'm gonna bring that on my outer corner to begin with. I think I'm going to jump around a couple of the palettes today. I barely do that. Now I'm going to take a bit of Clan and I'm going to deepen that outer corner up. And I decided I am going to create an eyeliner with one of the Melt pots. I'm going to be using this one for Tuna, and I'm creating an eyeliner with this Smith 205 brush. I'm just switching my brush to this little art store precise little liner brush so I can get into the inner corner easily. I'm going to take this little brush from Melt Cosmetics. It's the Round Detail Mini 26. And I'm just gonna blend the eyeliner a touch. I think that looks really pretty in combination with the mustard yellow. I don't think I'm in the mood for a shimmer. I don't know yet. I'm taking that Rubbish shade again from the Melt palette. I'm gonna bring that on my lower lash line. Yeah, I don't think a shimmer would be fitting for this eye look, but I feel like I need to set it with a lighter shadow. Looks unfinished to me right now. I'm just gonna catch this eye up to speed real quick and I'll be right back. I think just for funsies, I'm gonna take a little bit of Erode here with the Smith 230 and I'm gonna just put that in the inner corner for an extra pop. Well, inner portion of the crease. And why not down here too? I really like the yellow tones against that eyeliner. Cute. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna take a bit of my highlighter, this one from Natasha Denona. You guys should see the amount of products I have on my desk right now. I'm a bit overwhelmed. I'm just gonna take that in the inner corner. Now moving on to mascaras. I had 3 in my favorites video. So the first one being the Marc Jacobs At Lash'd mascara. I believe this one is no longer available. I hope they bring it back if Marc Jacobs comes back. I don't know. It's just phenomenal and I miss it dearly, but I might use that one today. I also have the Climax Extreme mascara from NARS. This one, I don't think I should put on my eyes. This is still my original tube and it's been over a year. I feel like I should get rid of it. But it's a very volumizing mascara. It's phenomenal if you want big, thick, full lashes. This is the best mascara for that. Oh my god, it smells toxic. It's very off. It's very chunky. I think the stopper flew off. Yeah, the stopper flew off. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this one. So that leaves me to use this one, but the last mascara I had was the M Cosmetics Pick Me Up. This is a new tube. I'm not going to open it just yet because I have too many mascaras on the go, but I still love this one. It's a fantastic tubing mascara, but you can build up the volume or length. It's very customizable depending on what you want. You can get pretty much any look using this mascara. I love it, especially for my lower lashes, just because it never transfers onto my concealer or crumbles or smudges. It's just phenomenal for that. But I think I'm gonna use just the Marc Jacobs At Lash'd on my top and bottom lashes today. I also did quickly curl my lashes with the Shu Uemura lash curler. And here are the eyes all finished. I actually love how they turned out. The colors are so fun, but I still think it's quite wearable too. It's fun. Very complimentary shades. I like it. So now I'm just going to quickly do my brows off camera, so please enjoy the kitten intermission. Okay, final stretch, you guys. Now it's time to move on to lips. I had 3 options for lip liners. So the first ones were the M Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liners. I still adore these to this day. These are my most used lip liners still. I use them on the daily. My favorite shades are Kitten, well, pretty much the whole range if I'm being honest, but top favorites, Kitten, Fawn, and Bunny. But honestly, all of them get good use in my collection. The other lip liners, I had some from MAC, specifically Strip Down and Oak. I recently finished my Oak lip liner, so I don't have it here with me, but I still have a Strip Down with me, still one of my favorite lip liners. I love pairing this one with kind of orangey lips. I might use this one because it might go well with the colors I have on. But it's such a gorgeous kind of lighter brown shade. And it's a fantastic formula and even more beautiful color. And the last lip liners I had were the Nabla Close-Up Lip Shapers. And I haven't used these in a very, very long time. At the time, I loved them to bits, but over this year, I really grew my lip liner collection, and I feel like these feel very similar to any other lip liner formula. They felt very unique to me at the time, but now they just feel pretty average. I do still enjoy the shades, but I haven't been reaching for them as much as the M Cosmetics ones or the MAC ones. So these ones kind of fell off for me, but I think I'm gonna use Strip Down today. But before I pick a lip shade, let's move on to my favorite lip colors I included. So the first one was the Nabla Metropolitan lipstick. I haven't used this in a very long time either, but it's a really nice nudie shade. It's kind of pink, kind of yellow, depends on what you pair it with. It kind of pulls different undertones from within it. It's very transformative. I just don't really reach for it anymore. I don't think I would consider it a favorite still, but I like it. I also have the M Cosmetics Lip Cushion, the tinted lip luminizers. These are still some of my all-time favorite lip products. I love how they're like a tinted lip balm, but they're almost glossier. They just add a lot of shine and they're very pigmented. I think these are very worth it for that kind of tinted lip balm kind of vibe. They're beautiful. I also have the YSL Tatouage Couture Velvet Lip Creams. These are phenomenal. I still really, really enjoy them. I featured these in my fall favorite lipsticks video. I just love them. I love the applicator. It makes for a very easy and beautiful application. The formula is beautiful. It feels very luxurious. And I love the packaging as well. It just is luxe through and through. I also had the Tower 28 glosses. These are fantastic. Still some of my all-time favorite glosses. The tinted ones are beautiful. The clear one is fantastic. They're just gorgeous. They give a thick kind of glass-like finish to your lips. They fill in your lip lines and just give you lip volume. They're stunning. And the last lip product I have in here is the Charlotte Tilbury Sexy Lips Tinted Lip Balm. This is another one of my favorite tinted lip balms that I find to be very worth it. It has good pigmentation. It honestly feels very similar to the M Cosmetics lip cushions, just thinner in consistency, and they're not so glossy. Beautiful shade. I still reach for that very, very often. So the only lip product that kind of fell off in this section is the Metropolitan lipstick from Nabla, but otherwise I would still consider all of these other ones favorites. So now I'm going to use this little combo. I feel like it just makes sense. So I'm going to line my lips with Strip Down from MAC. But now I'm going to layer some of the M Cosmetics lip cushion in the shade Faded Clementine. Plus my lips are a little bit dry, so this is the best option for me. Okay, yes. Oh, I'm so happy with how this look came together. It's so fun. Ooh, I love it. Oh my god, I love it so much. And here is the finished final makeup look all together. I adore how it turned out, but I think I loved filming this video even more. I think this is going to be a yearly video for me. It's too fun not to. And I can't believe how little my mind has changed on these products. There's only a few here that I kind of switched up on, But looking at all these products in front of me, I still feel immense love for them. This was such a fun one, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video too. But that is all for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It would help me out so very much. I'll make sure to link all of these products I used in the description down below as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.